light and the water.
Yeah, I water them.
Then you know you cut down. And the part cut down, then you see it all now.
What you say?
God bless who are done and me bless and do holiness. And a third time we say, show our labor right.
Black and beautiful, I feel so proud. I stand out so elegantly in just any crowd.
Is it cool? You're cooling. Electric. Brown boss.
Brown boss, babe.
Girl, you got perfect legs.
Oh, thank you. Not my fault, Carl.
I wanna drive it.
It look, I don't know, it does look real.
Yeah, man, it's the road there. Go and walk. Should have painted this a long time, man. Eh? Should have painted a long time. Hey. Yeah guys, welcome to my channel, Brown Boss Jamaica Tours. I'm at the grand opening ceremony right now of the new Anchovy Police Station here in St. James. So come with me guys. Yeah man, we're there. Yeah man. Ground was broken for the new police station here at Anchovy St James back on Friday, March 25th, 2022. And today is August 5th, 2025. Today will be the grand opening. This new two-story 5,300 square feet building was constructed under the ministry's Project Rebuild, Overhaul and Construct, which is PROC initiative, aimed at making police stations island-wide, modern and citizen-friendly workspaces. The construction of the new police station was done in collaboration with the National Housing Trust, which was providing project financing and management at a cost of $200 million. Omar Davis. Busy man. Included in the scope of work is the construction of workstations and living quarters, a new sewage disposal system, the paving of driveways and parking lots, the erection of a boundary wall, installation of kitchen and a laundry area. Additionally, there are plans to include renewable energy as well as water harvesting facilities in the new structure that will be providing employment and training opportunities following its completion. Alright guys, so stay tuned. I'll give you the full grand opening ceremony, and also later on in the video I'll give you a walk-in tour of this brand new facility. All right, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss any part of this coverage. Stay tuned, guys. Morning, I can enter.
Yeah, man.
Project rebuild, overall and construct security force. We're looking at that. Better surroundings for a better state of mind. New vehicle mobilization, help secure our nation, investing in facilities for modernization. It's rehabilitation, relieving frustration. Not just for the
radio. I see you now, man. Yeah, man. Big up. Eh? Yeah, we know it, man. Can you watch my channel? Okay.
You make a very good point.
I say more pay. Eh? Yeah, man. How me like how the police station look, you know? Brand new. And the entrance look. Yeah, man.
Yo, I don't know stupidness. I don't know stupidness. You can't come right in up your water. Up your water. You know, take no easy if you carry from where come there.
Why run away from that? What? Which part?
The whole light and the water. Yeah, then you know you cut down. And the part I cut down, then you see it all now.
What you say?
And then Billy back, man.
And then Billy, Chinese come back on Billy. Chinese remember something. He cut down, man. One rainfall one evening. And it's long ground and there, so I know nobody will see it.
Nobody will see it.
I know. And Chinese come back on Billy.
From here, go to school, I know say how by post office you used today.
No, man, same place as so. Yes,
Police
man.
never get bigger pay.
Same place as so when they.
Bigger pay for police. Bigger pay, man.
Where's the mommy? You are coming in a video? A YouTube channel. We are going to new police station
Me
now.
give thanks to the police station because we're well wanted.
Yeah.
And me, God bless who are done and me bless and do holiness. And a third time I say, show a labor right.
Alright.
Show a
Yeah, take care.
Yes, man.
Everybody knows a show time, you know.
Yeah.
And do the car election. And next week in the car election.
Sunday.
Sunday in the car election. When
Sunday, my car.
I think December.
No, man.
No, man, and next week,
Sunday,
man.
man. We can't call December. I call next Sunday. Sunday, my car.
Yeah, next week Sunday.
I took the 3rd of September election day, you know.
What they say, you know. But remember, say what they say. The
Constitution, so we can go up to December, but we don't care to December.
We don't want it.
Because the one we got to week, we make it go to December.
Yes.
Oh.
We know that. We are sure. We make Andrew not they call already, you know. Because he want to win more seats.
Yes.
We know JP can't
Yeah.
let some party can't go up one road much higher. But we want to go at 65 people want to look.
Oh, you face a landslide again.
Yeah, landslide again. That's how we draw out into this.
Yeah.
We know what we want. We want between 53 and 55 seats.
Yes, sir.
We're a new police station. But what I don't understand, you know, how parking go now?
Well, the trouble now, me park
If the police ain't park inside now, where normal people go park? How about this?
Yes. Yes. And that's why they're not in that side.
and the camera go over there.
Yes.
Oh.
The police uniform. The police uniform.
Hey look, beat man.
Diesel, not true. Man, they must happy man. Don't tell them how you don't tell you about God, but you got here.
Come like you want to go in more.
Underground water.
Yes, underground water.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So why is water a problem in the constituency and surrounding area?
Well, that will be a thing of the past soon. Because currently, I'm glad you asked me that question. Currently, we are bringing water from Sheffield Spring into Anchovy, Lawson, Mount Cleary, all the adjoining districts, most of which have not seen water in over 25 years. And if you look out on the main road here, you will see where the road is locked up, and as a result of that, it is creating a bit of inconvenience for the motorists who traverse here to South Market, Cape and all those areas.
Yes.
The water, the pipes have already been about 90% in. In another 6 months, we move the back here to do a ribbon cutting. Right, to cause some 15,000 people to see water or an improvement in their water supply in this region. So as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the people are concerned, they are earnestly waiting to see this precious commodity flows back into their
You use a collective pronoun. We'll be back here. But you may be back here, but not necessarily as member of parliament, because I understand you're under pressure.
Do I look like someone under pressure?
Well, you are under political pressure. That is the word, that you're under political pressure from Ms. Burchell.
But I can disabuse your mind of that. I am under no political pressure. I've never been more confident in winning this seat than now. This is my 4th election.
Yeah.
I have lost 2, I have won 1, and I have been winning the 2nd.
What gives you that level of confidence? I hear Burchell is a hometown girl from Maroon Town. There's some level of disenchantment with your performance as member of parliament, and that she's making inroads.
Well, you know, Cliff, I've taken, with my team advice, I've taken not to comment on my opponent. Honestly, right? Not to. Not because she's from here. No. It's the same that a king has no honor in his own country. And I know what I have done for this constituency. I know the people have felt my leadership, they have felt my representation, and they will have no reservation but to return me for a 2nd term as their member.
You are defending a majority of just under 2,000 votes, 1,900 plus.
1,952 years after.
Yes, you know your numbers.
I know my
and every good politician must be able to
I
count.
know my numbers and I know my voters.
You know your voters?
Yes.
Yeah? You know where to find them on it?
I know where to find them, whether they're in Kingston, whether they're in Port Antonio, whether they're even finding some in Miami who's prepared to come up and vote.
Oh? And you'll have transport to take them to the polling stations and the day, your day in Canberra, so taxi men must boycott.
You know, since 2016, the Jamaica Labour Party led Andrew Willis government has run this country so well that labour rights have more cards now more than any other time before. More taxes than private people. So we can rely on our supporters to supply us with the channels. As a matter of fact, that's what we normally do. We call upon our supporters who are in possession of roadworthy vehicles to do our election work. Yes, some of them run taxis, so we call upon them also. But we are calling upon our people who see our vision to support us on that day. And I think, I read the article, I said to myself, these guys are losing it.
In what sense?
Losing it in that, to say that the taxi operators are all belong to one side of the political divide. We can't think like that. And when you dilute the politics to that cheapness, it tells me that you don't know what is happening around you in Jamaica. Taxi operators are survivors. They work very hard for the family. Some of them don't even think about JLP or PNP. Because when they go into the part shop to buy the front-end part, there's nothing there to say PNP or JLP. They buy the parts and get out and equip the vehicle and do what they need to do. So, honestly, Cliff, some of these comments, you know, I'm struggling to comment on some of them because we are just out of touch with reality.
What are your signal achievements? Your government boasts of an impressive record, 256 solid achievements. If you were to name 5 of your solid achievements, Homer Davis, what are those?
5?
Yes.
Water. And I could go and say water. Roads. Education.
No, break it down for me. When you say water where?
Well, I have Shetland to Anchovy Water Supply Project 1. I've just completed the Lapland Water Supply 2. I am presently working on the Endeavour Water Supply 3. I'm presently working on the Spring Garden Water Supply 4. I have extended pipes into Retreat 5. We have done storage tank up in Johnson. That is now taking water into Johnson, into Niagara, into Arcata, and into Eldersville 6. We have also put in a brand new storage tank down in Roper, over in the Maroon Town side, and soon to be implemented.
Richard Vernon. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you very much. Dr. Horace John, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security. Honorable Juliet Cuthbert Finn, Minister of State, said ministry, Honorable Homer Davis, Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, Mr. Richard Stewart, Acting Commissioner, and esteemed officers of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Honorable Conrad Pitkin, Custos of St. James, Senator Councillor Charles Sinclair and other councillors of the St. James Municipal Corporation, Mr. Alex Bernard, AGM at the National Housing Trust, other representatives of ministry departments and agencies, community and school leaders, business leaders, proud citizens of Anchovy and Greater St. James, good morning. Today marks a pivotal moment for Anchovy and the reality of public safety across Western Jamaica. The ceremonial commissioning of this police station is a strategic intervention in a region historically burdened by under-resourced security infrastructure, rising threat to community cohesion, and high incidence of crime. Let us remember one of our most murderous periods, 1998 to 2002. Jamaica recorded almost 5,000 homicides. 89% of victims were male and 80% were aged 15 to 44. St. James, particularly Montego Bay, has long been a flashpoint with over 70% of murders in recent years linked to gang activity. Anchovy, though often overlooked, has felt the tremors of this violence, underscoring the need for embedded, community-based policing and a modern infrastructure. In pursuit of transformation, social overhead infrastructure must be robust. It speaks to the presence of government in the community, respect for the people, and a sustainable future. This facility is a direct outcome of the government's strategic push on the Vision 2030 to build a secure, cohesive society. It complements the zones of special operations in other sections of St. James, the Jamaica Eye Surveillance Network, and the Ministry of National Security's 5-pillar strategic crime plan. But more importantly, it reflects a shift from episodic enforcement to a sustained engagement. Anchovy's new station is designed to respond to crime and notably to curtail it through various forms of restorative justice, youth diversion programs, and community intelligence that I anticipate when full capacity is implemented. This will be the space where law enforcement meets citizens. Historically, Anchovy was a point agricultural settlement. Today it is a growing peri-urban community with expanding economic potential and is becoming increasingly more important to Montego Bay. Therefore, this government of vision, care and action understands the trajectory and the need to invest in its people. Decided that Anchovy must no longer be a glance over, but a real case for development. A few weeks ago, we were commissioning a major water system for this constituency. Last week, we signed a contract for Richmond Hill road rehabilitation, and today, Anchovy Police Station. The work must continue. Your Member of Parliament, Homer Davis, has made tremendous representation on your behalf. As Mayor, I affirm our commitment from the Municipal Corporation to support and partner in any way we can to ensure that this facility fulfills its purpose, one that will be transparent, accountable, and community-driven. Let us cut another ribbon into a safer, smarter, more secured future. Welcome to the Anchovy Police Station. Welcome to the city of Montego Bay. Let progress be our protection. God bless you. Choose Anchovy, choose Montego Bay, and always choose Jamaica. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Vernon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're following your programs, you will see who it is that we have next to come and bring greetings. But before that gentleman comes, Mr. Bernard, I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that the National Housing Trust is not just in the business of housing. They are responsible for finding the hands and the muscles that went behind constructing this police station here. They are committed to partnering with the Ministry of National Security to build facilities for our constabulary force that are purpose fit that are fit with the necessary amenities and that meet the standards of international organizations, so that our police officers can comfortably work from a particular space and deliver service to you, the residents of the surrounding communities. So please put your hands together for Mr. Alex Bernard, the Assistant General Manager of Construction and Development at the National Housing Trust, who will bring now some greetings.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. So to the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chan, the Ministers of State from both the Office of Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security, the Mayor, Councillor Richard Vernon, other political representatives, NHD executive and staff members, the Ministry of National Security through the JCF, represented by Deputy Commissioner Richard Stewart and his team, project stakeholders, members of the Anchovy community, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Kindly permit me to firstly adopt of the already established protocol. I think it's my pleasure to be here in Anchovy to mark the official newly upgraded Anchovy Police Station. And this is right on the heels of last week Wednesday's handover of Stony Hill. These handovers are testament to our vision and unwavering commitment to build safer, stronger communities where Jamaicans are proud to live, work, raise families, and do business. Through this investment and others like it, the NHD continues to demonstrate that our role in national development goes well beyond providing houses. We are also proud partners in shaping the social fabric of Jamaica.
Good afternoon. I will be doing a proud black by Eden College. A sense of pride is surging from my heart because the complexion of my skin has set me apart. My skin is not yellow, my skin is not white. But in it I feel special and unique. In it I feel right. Black and beautiful, I feel so proud. I stand out so elegantly in just any crowd. I am always mindful of who I am. A beautiful product of the Caribbean. So many gifts and talents invested in me. I can be who God created me to be. I can rub my shoulders with anyone because my purpose in life I clearly understand. I am not intimidated by the challenges in life. I just put my trust in God and avoid all strives. Knowing I have the power to be the best I can be, when through God, I am spiritually and mentally free. I now know the truth and the truth has set me free. When through God we are one, you see. We are not defined by the pigment of our skin, but the beauty that lies deep within. Today I parade the sash, a proud black, because I hail from a very important stock, a significant member of the human race, a subset of the universal set. I stand with grace.
Honorable Dr. Ray Cham, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security. Honorable Omar Davis, Minister of State, Office of the Prime Minister. Honorable Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, Minister of National Security in the Ministry of National Security. His Worship, the Mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Richard Vernon. Honorable Conrad Pitkin, Custos Rotolorum, St. James. Councillors, Assistant and Deputy Assistant Commissioner of Police and colleagues, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Just alone the shop too. It is both an honor and privilege It is both an honor and privilege to stand before you today, representing Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake, at this official opening of the Anchovy Police Station here in the parish of St. James. This ceremony marks another important milestone in the commitment to develop fit-for-purpose police facilities, spaces that foster meaningful interaction between citizens and law enforcement while equipping our officers to respond with greater effectiveness and efficiency. We are grateful to the government of Jamaica for their continued support in making this vision a reality. Special recognition must also be given to the National Housing Trust for its role as the lead implementing agency, and to our very own Property Management and Maintenance Division for their diligence ensuring that this project was completed to standard. The Anchovy Police District forms part of the St. James Police Division, a division that for breaches of the Firearms Act. Let me pause to point out that of the 664 firearm charges, 641 persons were at the time of their arrest in possession of a firearm. Still, there is more to be done. Intelligence have pointed to 212 individuals across the island that have committed at least 3 murders. Our investigators are actively pursuing these cases with the ultimate goal of bringing them to justice. Additionally, intelligence also identified 127 active criminal gangs across the island, which require constant attention as we work to disrupt, degrade, and dismantle their operations. In this regard,
good afternoon, everyone. It is indeed hot here in Anchovy, but it is hot for a purpose. Let me recognize Honorable Dr. Horace Chang, Member of Parliament for North West St. James, Deputy Prime Minister of Jamaica, and Minister of National Security. Let me also recognize our Custos Conrad Pitkin, Custos Rotolorum for this parish of St. James. Mayor Councillor Richard Vernon, Mayor of the City of Montego Bay. Deputy Commissioner of Police Richard Stewart, representing our Commissioner of Police. Let me also recognize my parliamentary colleague, Mrs. Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, we sat beside each other in Parliament. We occupy two rural constituencies, so we have rural thinking. Let me say today, I know the salutation, this is very long, but there are so many persons to recognize here today. Assistant Commissioner Miller, who's in charge of the police area, Area 1, and my good friend SSP Samuels, this is Senator Sinclair, Councillor Baker. I can't tell you how I feel today. I am a happy person here today. Happy as a member of Parliament, but happy as a citizen that this police division will serve. As a matter of fact, Minister Chang and myself, the Anchovy is our police area. We live in the police area of Anchovy. So it is a good feeling, very good feelings. Let me say to us here, I am happy to boast yet again, you know, we are walk and cut ribbon. It's not only police station ribbons we are cutting other ribbons across Jamaica. When I speak of community safety, we are not just talking about crime. We are talking about peace of mind. Mothers sleeping easier at night. Children playing freely and businesses thriving in a secure environment. And none of this is possible without the men and women in uniform, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, who serve, protect, and put themselves on the line every single day. But how can we expect our officers to do their best if we don't give them the best? And this police station, I'm sure when you all go inside, you will realize that Anchovy Police Station is the best in St. James at this time. This facility, and I'm sure Senior Superintendent Samuels can attest to that. This facility, modern, secure, and outfitted for service, is a direct reflection of this government's commitment to improving the environment in which our officers operate. Let me take a moment to congratulate Dr. Horace Chang for his who has been relentless in his mission to improve the police infrastructure across the length and breadth of Jamaica. And let me remind all of us that this would not be possible without the solid economic achievement of the Prime Minister Andrew Holness led administration. Good economic management isn't just about numbers. It's about enabling real results. Roads, water, school buses, police stations. Our Prime Minister's steady hands have allowed progress to break ground, literally right here in Anchovy. But what does this Anchovy Police Station mean for the constituency of St. James Southern. It represents confidence. It represents safety. It represents a place where law meets community, not with fear, but with partnership. And for my beloved constituency of St. James Southern, it's a reminder that no corner is forgotten. Progress must touch every district, every town, every person. Because when we improve the space where the officers work, we uplift the space where citizens live. Let's be honest, security is not a luxury, it is a right. And today we move one step closer to making that right a reality for the Anchovy and surrounding areas. We are not just opening a building, we are opening the doors to stronger enforcement, swifter response, and a deep community trust. So let the station be a beacon of hope, a base for bravery, and the fortress for fairness. And to the officers who will walk these halls, you are not alone. You are not forgotten. And you must certainly not be taken for granted. Together, let us continue to build a safer, stronger, and a more secure St. James. The numbers speaks for itself. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks to my Anchovy family to be here today to share in this momentous occasion, an occasion that we all was longing for. It has now become a reality, the Anchovy Police Station. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I am delighted to stand before you today at this significant moment as we collectively welcome the official opening of this police station. I appreciate what you have done for this community, and I came with the message that in spite of the challenges you may face, do not give up now. Can you turn to the person beside you and tell them, do not give up now? Now tell yourself, do not give up now.
That I will
Thank you. Well done, Jaquan. Give him another round of applause, please. You see, sometimes you have to take on certain tasks in life by yourself, and he came up here alone and sang from beginning to end and did very well. Because trust me, I know I couldn't do that, not with that song. So Jaquan, you deserve all the applause. And yes, we receive the message that sometimes life will get challenging and hard, but we must not give up. We've come too far to give up now, right, Anchovy? Yeah. Too far to give up now. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you will be hearing the main address from a gentleman that has some stamina that belies his age. If you should ever see him running to and from the people in his constituency, moving from house to house to greet and ensure that every person's voice is heard. If you should see him when it comes on to all matters related to national security, especially that of the work of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the community security branch and others within the ministry, you will understand that this man needs to be studied. He is none other than the Minister of National Security, also the Deputy Prime Minister of Jamaica, and you know he's the MP for which area? Anybody know which area is the MP for? No, don't. Where am I? Am I in St. James? Minister Chang is the MP for what area? I'm hearing it loudly from the front here, Northwest St. James. Please put your hands together for Dr. Horace Chang.
Oh boy, na 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 na. We want a peace for Jamaica. Yeah, yeah. We have to be our brother's keeper. Yeah, yeah. Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life. What we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good. I better you and I. No say we future bright. Jamaica live good. I make the blood stop run. People have to have some fun. Jamaica live good, yeah. Come together as one. I make the violence the world.
Thank you, thank you. That's our social marketing song, Live Good. As the old people say, must live good. But you have to live good when things are peaceful. All the time, but it's easier when things are peaceful. First, I want to let the young man who just saw commend the young singer from Anchovy Primary. I want to assure him that we're not going to give up. And we're not finishing. As the old people say, a come will just a come. And I want to have the assurance that my officers and the police officers are here this morning. Allow me to recognize a long list of protocol here, but I think again it's my duty as Deputy Prime Minister to be here. But as my chairman outlined my endurance, I have to remind the audience that I chose a Minister of State, recruited and having in my ministry. She's an Olympian medalist. She's my coach. My colleague, Minister Juliet Cuthbert, who does this morning, with a privilege to work with her as she handles a large section of the portfolio, very broad ministry, in particular crime prevention and correction service. And it's a pleasure to have her in the West this morning. The first thing she come to the West, you know. To tell her she had to come at a particular time we are in the street, maybe a good time for her to come get a little more coaching lessons out here. Colleague, Minister Homer Davis, who is a member of Parliament for South St. James, which this particular police is located. Senator Sinclair, who is from the distinguished constituency of Northwest St. James, and is a senior senator doing a lot of work at that level as well in the government. With him is today his worship the mayor, young Councillor Vernon, and to assure someone listening that the transition development of St. James on a certain line when it comes to Senator Sinclair and Richard Vernon is guaranteed and secure in good hands for good leadership in the future, since as my friend indicated, I have endurance but not that level of longevity to continue forever. So there's some strong young men who will take charge of the operations and move on. from the police force of before I go to the police force of Custis Pitkin, Bishop Pitkin, Custis St James, Bishop of the Faith Assemblies, Faith Temple in Montego Bay, but a good friend of mine. I won't tell you how long it has been, but he's an outstanding public servant in his own right, and minister. Of course, the minister who gave us, who led the ceremony from the Baptist Church this morning, Councillor Gavin from the Anchovy Division. My apologies. I must also apologize for my permanent secretary, Ambassador Alice Stonewall, who is the operative of the ministry, but she's well represented by our friend, the Delaware Simpson, Chief Technical Director, who handles a lot of the construction work. And from the Jamaica Consulate Force, we are here today to recognize a team of officers, Deputy Commissioner Richard Stewart, who is here representing the Commissioner Kevin Blake, who unfortunately is off the island, but he's represented by a very strong team. At a point in time when he can always, if he takes a little space, there's no gap. And in particular in Montego Bay, Mr. Miller and his team and Mr. Aaron Samuels, who hold it together very effectively. Some wonder how, but they do a remarkable job. And it's a reflection of their leadership, of course. They have a strong team of police officers who do remarkable work in extremely difficult circumstances. We commend them. I see from the local authority, our Secretary Executive Officer, Ms. Hoskill, here as well, who played a critical role in ensuring we get the operation of the plans on time for the development of this kind of building. The President, the Chairman of the Jamaica the Police Federation, have it correct, Ms. Kathleen, very good, but she carries a critical role. The Police Federation is the legal responsibility to ensure the welfare of our police officers. And of course, their advocacy is crucial to ensuring, we say, we keep our feet on the ground in matters concerning the police force. And herself and her board carried out an effective role. She has accompanying a number of our colleagues here. And it's the era, unfortunately, in the old days, except for when we're fighting over salaries, people don't recognize how much work the Federation and what responsibility carries in ensuring that we maintain the certain aspects of the force in place. But to the members of the press, the contractors, engineers, the members of the holding trust, my apologies, not putting a last but not least in anyway, because we're coming back for some more money, you know. So I don't think a thing putting at the bottom. I see Mr. Miller that's here, and members of the media, and members, citizens of the community from Anchovy St James generally, to attend this morning to witness this opening of this wonderful new police station. It's a hot morning, and there's a long protocol I have to replicate a little bit. And a friend showed me a little picture a while ago, because we had a little book of circulating. Success in the Ministry of National Security, not the green one. Other people may have this around this morning, but this one is City Security from the Ministry of National Security. And I knew this police station before, but this was my picture. I thought that good thing to start by looking at it. It's difficult to see if you have a copy, look at it. Which is a picture of the old Mountdale police station. Of the old Mountdale police station. And the new one. And I want to say this is a graphic example of the old versus the new. And it will be looked at what the police were asked to work for. This one may have been Millverse, you know, because as I discussed with the Deputy Commissioner, when we decided to demolish this one, they were in a post office. Now I'm not sure where they're packaging to send the police to. But they're being packaged, shipped out in a post office, part of a post office. In that building that was here was rendered impossible to operate in, and they were taken out and put in the post office. And I said, Mr. Deputy Commissioner, I'm not sure how you're packaging them and what was the address there and destination, but that was what the then leaders of the time thought of the police. And the first thing we had to do was to change the entire policy regime, and this is why when this was trying about how we're doing, before we execute program. The activity and the programs evolve from a defined policy indicating what you want and where you want to go with the office. So I have a long speech written by one of my security advisors, a police officer, very good officer, but I'll try to cut it short. That's why I do all the picture here. Because I said it is a good example of the thinking then. So if you could think of moving a police station which had deteriorated to the point that it could be occupied and then the only place you could put them is the post office. Reflects a kind of thinking that is really primitive, embarrassing, and in fact not in keeping with getting peace and good order in the society. And I don't think that can be considered in any way part of just a reality of what was there. When we started to build, the station was built in St. James because I'm the minister from St. James. As I outlined, a number of done. And that Homer Davis is like my brother. We worked together closely. We're neighbors at one stage and family friends. Although it's the second one opened in St. James, the picture showed it was Mount Salient. But we just didn't go about building police station when my SMP called me 5 times per day and harassed me about it, or that the chairman of the fellowship, Mr. Bakbino, then chairman as well, who can't tell me how it's Gail or the one up in St. Catherine's top is falling apart and birds flying through the window to eat out the officers' lunch when they go for lunch. Or that kind of thing. In order to get a kind of response, what I did, we had an engineer. We had an engineer who went across the island and examined every single police station. Not all facilities, we did facilities, the big spot, police stations, and grade them according to the condition. 1, 2, 3. Grade 1 was a station that required basic repairs. And at that time, because stations were in a certain light, so basic repairs were like fixing toilets, that the policemen had proper toilets to operate. Ensuring that the roof was not leaking and that the ladies, like Miss Matthew, when she got to work, didn't drop to the floor with her high heel. That was what was considered basic first stage. But we set about looking at that and assessing them, and we'll do that. The second one were ones which needed major overhaul, and that means quite likely you find a couple of places where the policemen could operate, and if you did it on a serial basis, you could fix something you could work in. And then we had those who had to say demolish and start over. And that's where with the Anchovy today. And I said, interestingly, I had to support that was the basis on which we set about to rebuild and improve police station. And not to the political architect of a particular community. And we create a program, rebuild, overhaul, and construct to provide the police with adequate working conditions. That's how we set about it. Many other things were done because, of course, a modern police station requires certain facilities which would have to be in place, particular communication, etc. But that was, I would take the day to go through them. This is a booklet outlining some of them, and I thought I'd circulate some of them today at this opening. But the characteristics of a police station, we had to redesign many of them. And again, before moving into the presentation proper, necessary design and monitor quality, and there's a department, the police force now called property management and development, which plays a critical role. Design you can understand very easily. One of the first things I asked the then commissioner to do is to consider, and he's an engineer, I'd like to see on the police action well that we change the concept of a guard room when you walk in, which was a little place that the police basically had this with a big book. The book was maybe bigger than the door, and he would try to open it inside there and write down his data and collect information. But if you try to put it there, it's almost heavy enough to get from here. That was what they had to work with. But I was a bit frightened to go there because it was tended to be small, a bit dingy and touching, and only people who had problems. Nobody would go there to talk to the police about issues that are preventing things. It's when a man gets a real bad case and go in there. And one of the issues that we were very concerned about, like many other domestic issues. Girlfriend go to the station to complain, boyfriend stand right behind her. And what you'd have is argument like, officer tell the woman to come on, my woman, send him home. And anything she said, it was audible to everybody. So when they changed that, I would say they must design a reception area in the police room. It's a functioning workspace with a reception area, not a guard room. You're guarded when we have the police have detained you, and you're protected if they have to take you outside. But you're at a reception area where you could they have space to discuss and meet police officers. And for that kind of system, we have to do that kind of basic design to ensure that the officer in command has an office. A lot of these stations, especially small ones, they have no space for officer in charge. And that kind of activity is what we're faced with. So we have to go and not only build new station, but design a police station. It's also important to do so. And as you tour here today, you'll see the difference. And of course, as we modernize and put in place, the physical design is critical to all of this. Today, this marks the 10th station that I'm opening, new ones. Number 10. I have one near opening in Little London, in Lake 11. Another round figure, and we have two special ones that we will complete in another 12 months or so, and I'll be there to open them. Mr. Simpson should be in good order. They will symbolizes, in fact, those station packs, two new stations, symbolizing more dramatically the change in the thinking of the country leaders and how we treat the police and the kind of police force that the country will have and need to have to ensure we can deal with criminal activity. The Sablama Division Headquarters and the Spanish Town Division Headquarters. I have said this story over and over, but I'll say it again. When I walked in the Sablama Police Station, she was the one that the lady had to drop to the floor and twist her ankle, not Miss McBee, thankfully. She's my friend. But officer did. And I worked on her upstairs, so I see Mr. Miller was there at the time. Sorry. Mr. Moore, sorry. Miller, your friend, who was there, will tell you. He operated the CID and they operated a veranda in a old house. And beside the files being exposed to rain and weather, the officer actually, in a high shoes, actually went through the floor. Because that's a fact of history. In the case of Spanish Town, I often tell it up there, Mr. Stewart's good friend, Mr. Gibbs, is a tall man. And when he was going up, he had the bend. I'm going to like a cubby hole. And we asked the commission to demolish both of them. It took a long time, but both are now under construction. And we'll ensure they're open. They're costing us over 5 billion combined. And you'll have what I think represents the kind of office where an individual who is in command of over 700, well, and the air command over 1,000 professionals will have a comfortable office to function from. So that's represent the kind of transformation. So we have 11 new stations, 13 new stations really, and we refurbished some 35 and impacted all the others to ensure basic minimum requirements are met. I indicated before, and that involved about 191 police facilities. There's still some to go, and I can assure the young man, we're not stopping. We're still going forward. There's an article recently on our marine patrol facilities. We know they are not in the best of shape, and we're working on getting those fixed. Maybe a little part of that time goes that you're aware that the marine police shares, they are the police. But in terms of the high seas patrol, the Coast Guard intervenes in a lot of work here. And given the high incidence of violence, gang activity in what we call the territorial areas on land, the police station that were serving communities across Jamaica carried a higher priority in being done. Not a matter of disregarding them, and they are under this and they'll be dealt with, although there's another 6 that we have to complete. I could say, including Amity in St James, Bull Bay in St Andrew, Moko in Clarendon, a number of 68 currently going through, and Granville in St James, all going through what we call the public investment process that we will ensure these communities will have, the officers to work in this community will have good quality place to work from. That's a commitment we have done, that's the policy of the government, and the ROC program is designed to do that. We have to mention that because, again, having spent that kind of money, I don't think any harm reminded that at $90 billion, given the current atmosphere when we drive on roads and we see big potholes in them. And they're still, despite unemployment at 3.2%, there's still a lot of young men on the corner doing a thing that I have to talk to. And sometimes even the police have to talk to. I know Mr. Miller and his team, Mr. Samuels would want to go meet them and have discussion to try and divert them. But it's been easy and maybe more popular to have taken some of that money and do some patching here and there, do some crash program here and there. But we thought, and we are convinced we did the right thing, that public safety and good order has to be a priority. And we spent the money there. In fact, only recently, and we spread across Housing Trust, Social Fund on the ministry's budget. The divisional headquarters of $5 billion come out of the government's budget. But the importance of this kind of activity was brought home to me sharply very recently when a gentleman who is about to lead a company that wants to invest well over $1 billion US. Now when you convert to Jamaica, you get billion with 0, 0, 0, 0 going on the road. In fact, ultimately I think his target is near to $2 billion. And he had wanted to meet the police commander. I think he eventually met him, but he invited me to breakfast. The gentleman was former head of a banking institution in the United States. And effectively we had a very pleasant conversation. But half which I realized what was an interrogation of the Minister of National Security and what we had done in security. And he questioned everything, what we had done, how much we had invested, what had we invested in, how have we expanded police force, we had taken from 11 to 14,000. And then he said, well, you're getting results. I said, yes, we said at the very beginning. And here some of them remember the argument and will be indicated in very clear and documented terms that we believe in strong policing, that we use certain legislation, state of public emergency, we introduce the zones of special operation to ensure we could cauterize the murder and the violence, but we are going to build the police force to a point where they could manage, deal with the criminal elements out there. I couldn't give a timeline, but we decided we had a timeline to get the numbers up and provide them with equipment, which means not only fixing station, because the policemen are not going to wait to see it to be fixed. And I say that complimentary, but we have to give them proper vehicles to move around in. We have to get their communication right and ensure they begin to see impact in the quality of the environment they operate in, negotiate with them on a number of service conditions, etc. And get to the number where they could do all their routine services. Because bear in mind, you go to the courts, you have to have police officers there. We have police officers in Community Security Safety Branch, which has to be there. You have domestic violence formation. You have the traffic branch and across. So they have a breadth of responsibility that is, they cannot leave anything. They need numbers. So I got all those questions and I said yes, and now we are getting results. Our reduction this year, I think where the tipping point is some over 40% reduction in homicide. And in Area 1 and St. James and Mr. Stevenson, don't think I'm overcoming my team, Mr. Richard, he's from the east, right? But my team in St. James is doing outstandingly well. We have a private door, right? But check here, they are at what, 60% reduction from last year. I don't think remember St. James the highest homicide rate in the island. And my consensus of Northwest St. James was the highest. When we started going up 1 year, my friend and colleague, Council Senator Sinclair, looking at me, the constituency had 172 homicides. That is like a battlefield. I don't mean like a place in Civil War. That's like a battlefield when you everything in crossfire get shot. Today, earlier this year, we celebrated in Norwood 2 years murder-free. 2 years. In the last 3 months, we haven't celebrated numbers in Flanker, but Mr. Samuel is here, 0. Right? But the 0 is what is reflected more reflective of the change that you see. In Flanker, young business people are applying to the superintendent, and Mr. Samuel will meet and talk to them, and they get to have the party until 2 o'clock in the morning. 12 they get, what? Sorry, and the Lord tell me. But sometimes they squeeze an hour here and there, and don't turn up like that. But Mr. Sam will give them till 12 o'clock. So, for many years, Flanker was a party center. When I got here, I had Wednesday, busy Thursday until 12 o'clock. But then at the corner, sometimes they just go on. And nothing has happened in there. They have been having it continuously. In fact, futsal, which is a nice football activity, played sometime while barefoot, is all over the parish now, until all hours of the morning playing football. Again, thanks to the efforts of the police force and what they have here. So, as my colleague mentioned, I use these as examples because the prayer meetings, the trauma to society, the students, it's something that is not often recognized, and those who like to raise issues about rights, I have to say it without any apology, because my view, and I'm on Mr. Right view, that the citizens support you. The people's right I must protect are the law-abiding citizens, and I must provide the men and women with legal framework in which to operate effectively, to serve and protect those that they pledged to serve. That's their amendment. I mentioned the entertainment because it's well known in Jamaica. These young men, young women, I know that you because the violence was too severe. I give you a sharp example, many, and I would maybe before I conclude, a young man attending college. He got a 6th form, very poor family. And to assist him, and Mr. Mackenzie, the young men know them smart, they are technology people, not like me who don't understand computer. Like them. They have them taking the machine, and them stop you. Constable XYZ, may I see your license, I'm doing that, are you speeding there, what's your name? And then punch in the name, and it's gone. And we're going to catch him, we're going to turn up at the tax office and the photos are ready. Automated, works well. That's what the camera is for, to improve engagement between the public and the police, and it is doing so very well. When there are operations which the police think they can use cameras and make value, if it will add value, they will do it. I trust the police have to do that. But I remind them, I did the research, there are very few cameras that are designed to be worn in operations. It's not routine. So don't listen to this nonsense, because when you're in a combat and a camera just attached to your helmet, you're going to knock off, and then when you push the police again, see them as fair liberty. There are no cameras designed for that kind of operation. But I am confident that the commissioner, where their operations require uniform, and where cameras may improve operations, if doing PSTV, they'll assign them. We're buying them more. But then so we're not giving them cameras. But it is the commissioner and his team of officers, and they will speak to the federation that must decide when any police equipment, like camera, pen, traffic machine, or anything else, or tasers, is utilized by the officer. Nobody else has the right to get them out of police in our circumstances, because difficult, tough circumstances, police families have been killed. You want to expose them to more risk? I will not support it, and the officers know I give them full support. The Operation Independence of the Police Force is must be guarded without any qualifications. If they breach the law, it is dealt with. We have their own internal professional standard branch probe. We have MOCA that investigates any alleged corruption, and we have the Integrity Commission and INDICO. And none of them are ever impaired in pursuit of their duty to investigate police officers. So why do I need to go and seek to put further review? I have 5 bodies or 6 people always examine the police to see where they go wrong. There are more people police than the police force. Yet I must keep adding to it. Inappropriate. So my friends, today, as may have gone a bit too long, it's hot, but rock is not finished. There's more to be done. We'll rebuild, we'll overhaul and construct the station that the police force require. We will provide Jamaica with a police force with good service conditions and with good equipment to operate moderns. If you go to Hopewell down the road, and you look in this one today, you begin to see the kind of police station. It is clean, well organized, functionally satisfactory, and equipped with modern technology. If you look at a police car, we put in more technology. They have cameras in there, though. They have cameras all the place, right? We are putting more cameras on the streets in the CCTV, Jamaica Eye program, and we are building out the back room to provide the support required in the C5 center within a very short time. This government, led by Anchovy, and whose mission and privilege of operating are going to perpetuate that happen to impair Jamaica society. We are prepared for it. We are providing a foundation to build a peaceful, prosperous, and functionally healthy society. That's the police here, their mission. And this minister commits to keeping the support of the police force in place to ensure they'll achieve their goals. Again, my friends, it's my privilege to be here today. We look forward to opening your station. Despite the heat of the day, I'm sorry I kept it so long, but it's a subject that I'm passionate about. But I feel very good that we are today set 41% below the homicide rate, 20% last year, 8% before, could have been higher, and we are going to take it down to normal levels. Yet this government, this minister, has the kind of force and the leadership of the force to ensure, provide the resources we can get to levels that we used to be at post-independence. Jamaica not murders people, we're going to get back to 600,000. But now we are taking it down in a legal framework, even though they denied us the strong measures at the beginning. We are working at it and we're getting it done, and we're making investment required. And those investments, say public guard, but police also by it, that we put in them, the return is high. We appreciate it because when there's peace, we get more investment. And not only dance, you know, when them people and them dance, they make money. People build house, we get hotels, we get new business, and that's what will make the country more prosperous and safe, and we can pay our public servants more, and the entire country will be able to fix the roads, the schools, not only police stations. My friends, my privilege to be here. Time hot, so thank you much, and thanks for being patient and listening to me. We look forward to some more new stations and activity. Take care.
Thank you, Dr. Chang. The word to aptly describe you is passionate. Passionate about national security, passionate about
cooperation and national development. On behalf of the people of St. James Southern and the wider Anchovy community, I extend sincere thanks to everyone who played a part in today's success. May God continue to bless you all, and may He continue to bless Jamaica land we love.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the official end of our program, and we will now have the ribbon cutting and private tour of the facility. The tour will be led by Acting Superintendent Joel Hamilton and will be for Ministers Chang, Davis, Cuthbert Flynn, and also the Mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Vernon, Councillor Baker as well, along with, it's quite a list, along with the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Richard Stewart, and the Assistant Commissioner, Glenford Miller. I got the first name correct, right? That's lovely. Mrs. Arlene McDean, Reverend Kevin Stewart, Mr. Alex Bernard, representing the National Housing Trust, and the Custos of Montego Bay, Custos Pitkin. There's also Senator Charles Sinclair that should be a part of this tour. Am I missing anyone? And ACP Mackenzie and Samuels. I called his name already. And CTD Simpson. Okay, quite a hefty list. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you proceed on the rest of your day, I want you to bear in mind these few words. There is no progress for Jamaica without the people of Jamaica. And if we do truly believe that we are the citizens of this great nation, we will take that responsibility up in our hands, work with each other in partnership, and make Jamaica great. I won't say great again, but we will make Jamaica great. Please do enjoy the rest of your day, and the touring party, you will be led by, as I shared, Avenue Hamilton. All right? Have a blessed day.
No, come show you.
Can I get one too? Thanks. Right now. Back part of the station.
Can I get one else, please?
Tank thrown here. Yeah man, station look nice people. Yeah man, people getting them food and things. And you can see the AC units all over the premises. What about this side?
Oh, you want?
You're cooling.
Carry to you. And then your work.
Interview room.
But you know, because of this, I'm going to share the chili. So, yeah, man. Whatever it is for it. That's our section here that I will say that release. A section of it. That's all. I will wash it up. Where the cleaner would. Every time you see everything goes. Yeah. Yes. And that's what came from my other side. That's the only area that I said. And if it is a small green here, that means because if you're in here, somebody's right. But the station is nice. So you're not a transport company? No, when you last year, January. And they come upstairs.
Sorry, could I pass?
But not in
Still run Irwin at morning time, huh? Still run Irwin at morning time? No, long time. It's been a while, Long time I drive past and see a morning. Yeah. I'm mostly driving now. Sorry. Strong room. What strong room? Sorry, what's inside the strong room? Nothing. Prisoner guard, processing room. Alright. Prisoner property. We have a restroom here. These are what? Oh, no picture. Oh, okay.
Alright, take it downstairs. Alright. Take care.
Alright, all the best.
So you don't want to overstairs again? We're going to ask you not to go around the cells here over there.
Yeah, I didn't. I was advised. Yeah, man.
Going online, so we're going
St. James.
where's the office space on the back there?
Is that right?
No, but the good thing is that there's going to be a wheelchair office. There will be a pharmacy. So to come down and actually
electric. And all the best. Kitchen area looks good. You look nice, man. All the latest features. Very good. The more I'm supposed to do. So I guess I already officer them sleep or something up here, so. Come on, good amount of space. Beds upon beds. Yeah, bunk bed. Squally them sleep, you know. Yeah, the outside people are on top. Yeah, the Jamaican flag and the Jamaica Constabulary flag. Yeah, man. Very cool, man.
Yeah. Very nice, bud. School bus, people, school bus.
That's where I live already.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Take a picture. Got it? Yeah, thanks much. Yeah, man, so they have a higher grounds here. Got that. Yeah. And do you have another exit? So they have one ladder right there, so you can climb, go up. So you can go up on the very top. The washroom here, fully outfitted, guys, latest. Have the, which one this? Are the dryer this or the washing machine? I think the washing machine. Maybe you wanna, maybe you wanna dryer, man. So they have low heat. Yeah. Don't let them wash and dryer. Yeah, man, whole heap of space. Whole heap of space, guys. Whole heap. Yeah.
I'm like, turn on and now come back again.
Oh, that look nice.
Like I mean bathroom this.
When I say now, stay yourself for long.